Yeah. Flow Masters. Shiselon. Yeah. Get your light up.
We gon' let it shine for the world to see. Let it shine, let it shine.
7:28 in Trinidad and Tobago. You were just listening to the sound of Christian hip-hop artist Shiselon. The track playing in the background is called Shine. He's been on the Christian music scene now for just about 15 years, so he's no novice in the business and is here to tell us about his latest project. Very good morning to you. Good to have you on the program with us. You know, everybody have a stage name. Shiselon is actually Jonathan De Silva from Arima. They say good things come from the East. Tell us a bit about again, all sorts of people saying things in the background and about people from the East and so on. But anyway, tell us about this latest production.
Right. The latest album I released is called Cross Before Crown. It was released in April this year. It's available on iTunes, and I do have some physical copies. It's an EP, a 7-song EP. It's Christian hip-hop music.
How did you get into that? Because there's always this I suppose discussion that takes place in any religious environment about traditional as against modern, as a hip-hop dance hall, and so do they fit in to the environment of what is considered something very important and religious and so on? How did you get into hip-hop artists in a Christian context?
All right, good question. Well, I grew up in the 80s, you know, and that is the music that young people of that time today, we are attracted to that, you know. Hip-hop is a very, very good way to spread a message, to communicate ideas, to communicate emotions and everything like that. And, you know, growing up in a Christian home, in a Christian environment, the mandate basically is to share that good news, share that gospel with people around you, and the music is just an excellent way to do it. And it's something that young people gravitate to. So that is how I got involved in it. I was a fan of it before I started writing, and eventually, you know, one thing led to another. I tried my hand at it and just kept practicing. I got better, and then I realized I could do it.
Would you consider yourself a pioneer in that regard in Trinidad and Tobago? Did you face any sort of resistance from others saying that you can't do that here, that sort of thing?
Not much. In terms of a pioneer, somewhat yes, because when I started with Showing Gardner and the Lion of Judah label back in 2001, and there were not really many hip-hop artists at that time, if any at all. There were probably a few before, but at that time, that was when the industry was growing and expanding and reaching out there. We had a gospel station on the airwaves and stuff like that, so I was privileged to be a part of that start. So in that regard, yes.
And let me ask you the question that I always ask entertainers with a religious focus as well. Are you convinced that people actually get the message, or are they just listening to you because they enjoy the music?
They definitely get the message. You know, my content is strong, my delivery is clear. So they definitely do get the message. Over the years, I've gotten a lot of testimonies, a lot of encouragement, comments. So the message is definitely clear.
But aren't you concerned that because hip-hop has, and what you would call so-called mainstream hip-hop has some negative tendencies and dangerous lyrics and so on, that you might actually be a stepping stone to vulnerable young people to go in that direction, in that sense?
Not necessarily. You know, it's really about how the artist communicates his message, you know. Negativity in hip-hop is just one aspect of it, you know, that the media may have glorified and made it seem like
the music industry does a damn good job of celebrating it too.
They do. But there's a lot of positive hip-hop out there. There's a lot of conscious hip-hop, a lot of good positive messages about love and peace and everything. So the responsibility is on the artist, on the writer, to communicate his message and to use the tools of the media to get his message out there to be as impactful as possible.
How did the stage name Shiselon, how did that come about?
Right. It's really from the word chisel. I sort of altered the word chisel. I changed the C to S and I add O-N at the end.
So what you're chiseling away at?
Right. It's about me being a tool in God's hand. Chisel is a tool used for sculpting, so it was, I see the music as art, and, you know, that sculpting, you know, the ability to take raw rock and materials and carve it into something beautiful.
Have you created your masterpieces yet? Because it took Michelangelo and all those fellas a hell of a long time to produce their various masterpieces. Have you reached that stage as yet?
No, I'm still creating. I don't think I'll ever, sometimes as an artist, you're never really truly satisfied with what you do. But I mean, I've done a lot of good work. I'm satisfied with a lot of the work I've done, but I wouldn't say that I've reached there as yet. There's still a lot for me to grow, even though it's been that long.
Give me your scope of reference. Do you see yourself as a local entertainer, regional, international? Where do you see your boundaries?
The music is international, and even now with the social media and stuff like that, it's just one small global community, so it would be narrow-minded to just think locally. So internationally, definitely yes.
But is that something you aspire towards gaining that level of international acceptance, where you're performing up and down the Caribbean, where you're performing internationally? Is that something that you're already doing, something that you aspire to, or what's your purpose?
Definitely I do aspire. I mean, I have traveled a lot in the past and stuff like that, but yeah, definitely. As far as the music could go, as far as the listeners are, I would take it there.
Give me a sense. Are you a standalone sort of performer? Have you been involved in several collaborations with other artists of different styles or the same style? What has that been about?
Almost 100% of the time I'm a standalone artist, but I have worked with a lot of local artists, some international artists as well. I'm always open to collaboration, music, fusion. I'm from Trinidad and Tobago. Our culture, our local music is calypso, soca, reggae, and stuff like that. So I've even been able to infuse the hip-hop into that and collaborate with as many people as possible.
And in that sense, in the little time that we have left, the new product that you have out right now, it's available. Where can people source it?
It's available on iTunes and Amazon Music right now, digital downloads.
And what has been the response you said it came out in April.
Yes.
What has been the response so far?
It's been encouraging. It's been encouraging. I had some physical copies, although those are sold out. I have to remake those.
Right.
The digital copies, they have been selling.
And I suppose it's an interesting situation. Before we conclude, you want to get the message and the Christian philosophy across, but do you also aspire to be a commercial success? Because how do you balance that, the pursuit of commercial success with fulfilling what you see as a religious obligation?
It's not necessarily a religious obligation. I was given a talent, and I do what I have to do. I use it to the best of my ability, and I believe that if I make myself available, God is in control of me, and He would take me where He sees fit, and I'm just totally open and available to that. So in terms of focusing on the commercial success, it's not my main focus, but if that comes along, I wouldn't complain.
Well, Shiselon, keep on chiseling, and we'll see how things continue to develop with your career. Christian hip-hop artist Shiselon Jonathan De Silva from Arima, here with us in the business for 15 years and counting, and we'll see how things develop with his career. We'll take a quick break and come right back here on Morning Edition.
Trace in His word, I'm keeping safe daily. I'm a frequent case, free from my evil ways. Redemption is the sweetest taste, overcoming every obstacle like a steeplechase. He erased everything, made this man brand new. He replaced every fear, nothing.